Today on Softball 360, the Long Haul Bombers blast off on the 2010 Stadium Power Tour. Team Easton, Team Miken, and Team Worth are in Miami for a one-of-a-kind home run derby. Host Natalie Kane is at Sun Life Stadium and has the latest news. Find out which bomber hits his way to the top in this slugfest. For softballers across America, it's game on. Time for the summer softball season. We'll preview some tournaments to look forward to on the WSL's Miken Championship Series. And we'll have the action from Corky's, a tournament that's been bringing in crowds for 3 decades. Those stories, plus we'll discover some pregame superstitions of the Bombers. Ready, set, swing! Softball 360 starts now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Softball 360. It's the show that is all about softball. I'm your host, Natalie Kane, and today we're all about the Long Haul Bombers. We've got Team Miken, Team Easton, and Team Worth set up to do battle and find out who is the best at bashing home runs. We checked in with the guys before their event in Miami, Florida. They were at the home of the Florida Marlins, Sun Life Stadium.
They are the best of the best, the greatest slow-pitch softball hitters in the game. The Long Haul Bombers. 4 teams traveling to Major League ballparks for a one-of-a-kind home run derby. Each bomber gets 15 swings and is awarded 1 point for each home run. The last pitch is the money ball and is worth 2 points. The top team is awarded the Manufacturers Cup. The bomber with the most home runs is crowned season champion. Dateline Miami and the Palm Frame Field at Sun Life Stadium. It's opening day for the Long Haul Bombers Stadium Power Tour.
Programs! We got the Marlins, the Mets, and the Long Haul Bombers in here today. Get your programs!
And softball fans in South Florida arrived early to check out their home run heroes.
Can't wait to see the Bombers.
Danny Crine, he's the man.
Long Haul Bombers kick caboose.
Le dan a la pelota bien lejos.
Muy bueno! Sun Life Stadium has many great chapters, hosting the Orange Bowl, the Super Bowl, and it's home to the Florida Marlins of the National League. Today, the Long Haul Bombers are in the house, prepping for a home run hitting show. And there's no sign of opening day jitters from this crew.
Here we go. He's making the calls right now, guys. I'm telling you, these new balls, don't expect what you've been seeing from Denny.
Many questions will be answered on this Florida field of dreams. Will newcomers Greg Cannell and Izzy Eisenhower make the transition to the big show? How will 2-time champ Denny Crine handle the intense scrutiny? And will DC lead the home run hitting pack again? The answers will unfold shortly. Until then, Bomber Brett Helmer puts down his bat and grabbed a microphone to get the inside story from his teammates.
You've got us in the finals the last couple years. What's your intentions here? Because it's going to depend. Our friendship's kind of dependent on how you answer this next question.
I got nothing to lose. You know, I've won it the last 2 years. 3 in a row would be icing on the cake, but you know, I'm going to go out and try and do my best every time.
We'll have more with the Long Haul Bombers later on in the show, but right now, it's time for a little summer ball. Let's check in with the WSL's Miken Championship Series.
Softball season starts early along the banks of the Ohio River. Cincinnati is one of America's great sports cities, home to the mighty Big Red Machine and the annual Bash for Cash tournament. It's one of the first WSL tourneys of the year, and they play ball in early March.
It's very well run. I've been doing this probably at least 4 or 5 years. And every time we come down, the weather might not cooperate, but it's always a good time.
In June, softballers look forward to a tournament hosted by the First Lady of Softball, Rhonda. It's the 27th edition of Rhonda's tournament, and the games happen June 12th and 13th at the Hy-Vee Park in Sioux City, Iowa.
I coached, played, sponsored. So I've done it all.
Later in June, one of the largest gatherings of softballers takes place in the upper Midwest. Simply known as McQuaid's, the weekend festival of softball fun takes over the capital city of Bismarck, North Dakota.
It's got this sense of family. It's like, you know, I don't know you, but you're my brother today. I mean, it's really, really hard to explain unless someone has experienced a Friday night at McQuaid.
The tourney is named for the late Sam McQuaid. He founded it in 1976 with a handful of teams, and since then it's grown to more than 400 since 1976. But it's not just about numbers. This tourney has a heart. It's always been about charity. In fact, last year they raised $65,000 for local causes. It's that spirit of giving that brings thousands of players and spectators together.
I just know that it feels good to be part of it.
On July 10th and 12th, softballers can head for the hills, the Black Hills of South Dakota, and the King of the Hills tourney. There's great softball amid some nifty tourist destinations and a mountain of American history. The King of the Hills tournament has 5 divisions: K, I, N, G, and S. That's right, it spells Kings.
Friday night we hold the area's largest home run derby. We paid out for the first top 4 places, which all included WSL Miken coupons.
We're not doing so great, but we're having a great time doing it. Whether you win or lose, it's about playing the game and about enjoying around other guys who do the same.
Rounding out July, the 52nd edition of the Firemen's Tournament in Bloomington, Minnesota. The games are played in the shadow of the world's largest shopping mall. And with weekend crowds around 25,000, the tournament is world-class as well.
We call it the social event of the year for softball. So it's about softball camaraderie.
The atmosphere here is like, you know, everybody comes, we're all competitors, but we all have a good time playing against each other, but hanging out at the same time on and off the field together.
The Firemen's highlights both men and women's softball, with 3 divisions for each, as well as a co-ed division.
The level of competition for the women is very, very high. It's the best in the country. Teams have to realize it's not about the win here at the Firemen's. You know, it's a benefit, it's a fundraiser.
And we do good to raise money for the kids here in the city of Bloomington, and that's where all the money from this tournament goes.
Those are some lucky kids, thanks to a great tournament.
Well, we certainly are looking forward to the North American Championships later on this summer. Now, don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more softball action coming your way.
When Softball 360 returns, we'll have a Bombers flashback to 1 year ago in Miami. It's one of the first tournaments on the WSL's Miken Championship Series, Corky's Early Bird. For over 3 decades, the folks in Minnesota have been digging the softball scene at Corky's. Softball 360 is brought to you by Miken Sports, elite equipment for the elite player. Worth Sports, performance through technology. And by Easton. There is a difference. The difference is Easton.